I'm sad, G. I'm hurting,
Man,
bro.
I know you got to be sick. I know you you got to be sick right
Bro,
now, man. If you haven't, if you guys haven't got in here yet, man, welcome into an impromptu version of some breaking news here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. McNuggets just hit me up. He said, "G Bush, get online. Let's go rock and roll and go through this thing." Right now, Kevin Durant has reportedly asked and requested a trade from Brooklyn. In less than 3 years into this thing, the Brooklyn Nets went from having Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden to having nobody.
why do you gotta say it
How
in that tone of voice? Why do you have to put it with like that much emphasis? Like I'm hurting already enough, G. You don't gotta punctuate every word like that, bro.
I mean it hurt. Like I'm sitting here thinking about it. In terms of a basketball move, this is devastating. This is this is devastating. What do the Nets do here? Does that automatically mean that Kyrie Irving is out of here?
No, he just opted in, bro. That's the worst part. Listen, conspiracy Luke. I don't have a hat to put on, but I think he was like, "Yo, Kyrie, opt in." As soon as he opted in, that means he can't follow him to his new team. And Katie said, "Hi, deuces, I'm
So
out."
let so this is reportedly by NBA.com, and this is just right from what they just put out. Chris Haynes put this out as well. He says Brooklyn
You
Nets
got a hat,
superstar
Anthony?
Kevin Durant, per Adrian Wojnarowski, and Athletic Sham Charania, says that the preferred place, Durant's preferred destination is the Phoenix Suns, while Woj adds that Miami Heat and the Suns are among the teams on Durant's wish list. You salty about that?
Listen, sorry. So let me just give a little backstory. We got some people in here now. We're on our normal 2:30 call, and Ian Hill, our Tegna digital analytics guru, is going over all these pacing reports and numbers and all this stuff that he wants us to know. And my phone buzzes. And usually when my phone buzzes, it's not important.
Right.
I didn't look at it. And then 7 seconds later, it buzzed again. And then 7 seconds later, it buzzed again, G. And I'm like, all right, Ian, hold on. I got to check this. And it was an ESPN alert and like 3 texts from my best friend who's a giant Nets fan. Goes, bro, this is it. This is done. I look at it, and with Anthony and Bree on both sides of me, I stopped the meeting. I stopped the meeting. I said,
Shut
Ian,
it down.
Ian, I know you're going over some important stuff, but do you realize that Kevin Durant just requested a trade? I can't focus on anything. For all of y'all that don't know, I'm a lifelong Nets fan. I grew up in
Right.
Jersey. They were the only team in New Jersey growing up. When I was just old enough to start watching and like loving basketball, is when they had J. Kidd, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson making back-to-back NBA Finals. They lost to the Spurs and the Lakers, but they've been abysmal. Kevin Durant was my hero. Like, I always like watching him play, but when you got to watch him on your team on a nightly night basis, like being a Cavs fan with LeBron must have been unbelievable. Getting to watch the best of the best, like the single best player in the world on a nightly basis, do what he does and make it look effortless. That's what Kevin Durant was to me. And I can't stand Kyrie Irving, man. I love watching him play, but as a fan, from the mental drama that he brings, it's a headache. So for him to opt in, for KD to opt out a day later, bro,
I,
I'm
I,
not
I
I'm
mean,
not okay.
I mean, this has to mean something. This has to mean Kyrie Irving is not staying. You can't tell me he's staying there now. I mean, is this a sign and trade move? Because I mean, Kevin Durant leaving. I mean, they came as a package deal. I thought it was going to be something going down when you talked about the LA Lakers, and all of a sudden the Lakers were mentioned. LeBron James. Always remember, McNuggets. I'm here with you. Karen, as always, Karen is always on the Cavs blogs. I did a Cavs post game. She's always in here. She knows how it goes. Karen knows how it is when LeBron and Kyrie get to acting up. When they start talking about mentioning people in the press conferences, when Kyrie said, "You know what? If I would have stayed in Cleveland, man, I don't know how many rings we could have won with LeBron." Listen, man, anytime you start doing that, it's a problem. And it didn't look good. It didn't look good, man. So we're gonna preview this tomorrow, right? We're probably gonna talk about this tomorrow, right? Because where we go a little bit, and I'll reach out to you guys as well, and throw this out here from Mikey McNuggets. He's sad right now, but from a Cleveland standpoint, when you have a master chip on the board like this and then Kevin Durant, what would you put up for him? What would be on the table?
Well, so my initial thought was there is no way in hell I'm trading Kevin Durant. He's under contract for 4 years. He just opted in. Like he just opted in. He is under contract for 4 years. This ain't 1 year. This ain't 2 years. He ain't a on deck free agent. He's under contract for 4 years. So whatever the Nets get back on the bright side, and this is me rationalizing this in a very narrow tube, G. Bushes, it might be the biggest haul that any team has ever gotten back for an individual player. 4 years of contractual control does not come along often with a guy who's a top 2-3 player in the league, depending on what you look at. They shouldn't trade him. Mark Hicks just said that they shouldn't trade him, but they're going to. When a superstar requests a trade, he gets what he wants. Can you think of a time, G, where a superstar has requested a trade and then not actually gotten moved? Like
not in the NBA and not a quarterback.
So
that has never been there.
So what I'm thinking, as I rationalize this, is you need a young star back. You need someone who can play. You need at least 3 first-round picks. If Murray just got 3 first-round picks without a player, you need at least 3 for Durant. And I want $2 billion in cash. $2 billion. And I look at the Cavs roster. We're in Cleveland. I'll give you some other names in a sec, but Evan Mobley's a mighty attractive name.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Listen, we didn't already had 2 people back to back. You gotta at least try. Give them Mobley, Darius, Karras. That would do it.
If there's a listen, if Cleveland would offer Mobley and Darius, done right there. Done. Done. They may not ever be as good as KDG Bush, but from the Nets perspective, and I'm looking at this from the Nets side of things, you're getting back a guy in Darius Garland who's 22, 23 tops, already an all-star and elite scorer in this league, plus Mobley, who I think has unlimited potential. And if Durant wants out, like you got to get something back. I'm not sure if there's a better young tandem. Now, you might get a better individual player, like maybe Zion Williamson would be on the table from New Orleans.
He's not going to the Pelicans.
Possibly. But like as a tandem, I don't know if you.
Yeah, there's when you look at this. Listen, this hurt my heart. Remind you, you heard it here first, man. By the way, man, always keep, if you have not subscribed to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, please do so. We will be doing little things like this. We got breaking news. We just jump on here and get on, man. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please hit the like button. But McNuggets, I'm gonna tell you what, that is so hard to do. Stefan Sharp says, please no. Please. We finally have a nice young team built. I do not want a drama full star that can't stay healthy and won't stay here. Evan Mobley, this might be the worst. Evan Mobley, and you talking about Evan Mobley on top of Darius Garland. I mean, these dudes don't do nothing wrong. They don't even be in the club. These guys don't say a peep. They're good people in the community. They're young all-stars. I don't know how many people would actually make that move. 63 people in the chat right now. I don't know, 63. If y'all here, let's try something. If you are interested in making a trade for Darius Garland and Evan Mobley for Kevin Durant, would you make that trade? If you would make the trade, I need to see some ones. Put some ones in the chat. If you like to trade, twos in the chat if you want no parts of it. Ones for let's go ahead. Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. Ones, twos, I want no parts of it. Let's see what we got. We'll let those come in a little bit.
Yeah, and let me say this real quick, just for the record. Like, I don't think the Cavs should trade both of them. I'm just from a Nets perspective, that's what I want back if I'm looking with the Cavs. But there's no way you're getting KD with keeping both Garland and Mobley. Like, I see some people in the chat saying, yeah, take Lauri Markkanen and like you ain't getting KD, who's the top 3 player in the league, without giving up at least one of those two. So I'm not surprised that I see all these twos coming in. But just be realistic. You ain't getting KD without giving up at least those two. And be screwed. Like I said, this is just where we're just shooting stuff off right now. This is what I want back for KD. It's what I want back. Yeah, man. Like Allen Levert and 3 unprotected. Like you ain't moving the needle with that for KD.
I mean, listen, let's be truthful here. Let's be 100% about this, man. If you can get, let me be clear, if you got Kevin Durant, I mean, you got a chance to go to the finals, right? You got a chance to go to the finals, man. You got a legitimate shot to go to the finals. But I mean, we had Jason Lloyd on today. And Jason Lloyd is under the thought process that Evan Mobley is going to be one of those guys. He's going to be a Giannis. He's going to not. You can't say LeBron and you can't and KD, but he has that type upside, right? 19 years old.
I think he's
Come
special.
on.
I think he's special, man. I think
would that be the best package you can get? They would that is that the best? I think it is probably one of the best because if you look at the
I mean, you look at New Orleans is a team that stands out. Like they have a couple of young pieces, including Zion, but like I can't see the Nets with how much money they have invested in other players on this roster going into a complete rebuild. Like they're gonna need a young guy back, and I'm not saying that this is plausible. I'm just looking around the league at guys like the Mavs would never trade Luka, but that's a guy like you would trade KD for. John Morant. And once again, not saying these on the table, but how about maybe Anthony Edwards? Would Anthony Edwards and a pick or two come back to KD? You pair up KD with D'Angelo Russell, with Karl Anthony. Like that's the kind of centerpiece in a package I think the Nets would be more willing to accept as opposed to 4 first-round picks like the Hawks just got for Murray, or 3 for whatever it was, because they're already in a position with so many other guys under contract. Joe Harris is making $64 million the next
crazy bank.
They still got like Kyrie Irving just opted in. They're paying Kyrie Irving. They got Ben Simmons on the roster. Like this is not a complete blow up the franchise and rebuild. They have to get some guys in that can play now. And if you're gonna trade KD, excuse me, who G-Bush, I will say this again, he's the second or third best player in the world right now, today. I know he's 34. I know he's 30 or 33, about to be 34. He is still a top 3 player in the NBA today. You got to get a young stud back. You need. That's why there's no way the Cavs can just trade Allen and LeVert and 4 first-round picks for him. Like the Nets are going to demand either Mobley or Garland.
Let's take the pulse a little bit here. Let's take a little bit.
A lot of twos.
All right, so, a lot of twos. I haven't seen these yet. So we got a 1. So he make the deal. Are we counting at home? 2. We got a 2.
Hey, Anthony, are you in the chat?
My man said, hell no. Can we count these?
Yeah,
count these twos, man. Lord. Oh, the 2s is the
try counting the chat.
Hey, McNuggets, these 2s is on fire, bro.
Hey, listen, if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm not doing it either. Like if I'm switching shoes, I'm not giving up Mobley and Garland.
Oh wow, there's millions right here.
That's what I want back. Like I think it works both ways.
I'd be interested to see as this kind of turns out to see what it's going to be. Now, what the heck could the Suns give back to the Nets to even facilitate this move?
So, Ayton wants out, so he'd be a centerpiece in Miles Bridges. Okay. So it'd be those 2 in picks. Which, if you're asking me, would I rather have Mobley and Garland or Ayton and Bridges? Well, hey, here's my issue with Ayton. He don't love basketball. He got in trouble in the playoffs because Chris Paul was like, "You were up playing Fortnite till 4 a.m." Guess who also? Really? Guess who also I question if he loves basketball? Ben Simmons. Guess who else? Maybe Kyrie Irving. So you go put those 3 in the same. I mean, you may not have 60% of your lineup show up on any given night. So I don't love that idea with the Suns.
And here's the thing. Who do you blame out there? Who you blame out there with this, man? Like because here's the thing. You had all 3 of them, and all 3 of those dudes are friends, right? KD, Harden, and Kyrie. They were all friends, all amigos, all buddies. What the heck happened? You was just doing your thing a couple of years ago. I think it's the fact that I'm gonna tell you what. It's the fact that Kyrie wouldn't get vaccinated. I just think it messed everything. Like he just wouldn't get vaccinated. So, and then Harden was like, he ready to check out any second anyway.
G. Bush, let me say this. Like I said, I love the Nets. I'll show y'all a video tomorrow. Maybe we'll put it on. I was in New Orleans for Game 7 of the Nets Bucks 2 years ago in the playoffs when KD's foot was like that much on the line.
Oh yeah.
You want to see a soul leave a man's body in real life? We'll play this video on the show tomorrow. Watch me die in real time. Like seriously, watch me die on Bourbon Street in real time.
This is crazy, man. KD
so
is coming to the Hornets. He's coming to the Hornets now. I don't believe that.
I'll take LaMelo and Bridges, a couple picks. I do that. I mean, at least it'd be a starting conversation. The Hornets would never trade LaMelo right now, but hey, I take it. You asked about Kyrie Irving though, G. Bush. I don't know the origins. I know what I've been told. I got a couple of friends who work in the NBA. I made the wrong decision, by the way. There's a bunch of dudes I played ball with in college who work in the NBA now, and they're all doing great. And I'm out here, these bots are popping up on the bonus. Hey, Anthony, that's you, bro. You got to get this under control, dog.
The bots is out here. They're like, oh, my goodness, this is a juicy new stream for you guys. Bridges got arrested.
11 no's on the YouTube, by the way. That's according to Anthony, who's right behind me. But G. Bush, let me tell you this. And Bridges did just get arrested. That is true. And he's about to make some money in free agency too, so not a good look for him.
Wow.
I don't know if it was the vaccine in particular that drove the stake between Harden, KD, and Kyrie. But those three went into last season as close as they had been in their whole time in Brooklyn, which includes a second-round playoff run where KD almost single-handedly brought them to the finals. They all signed up for this year to go to battle this year. And vaccinated or not, your choice. I respect it. Whatever you want to do, I understand. Kyrie said, hey, y'all go to battle. I'll meet up with you guys in a little bit. He decided not to get vaccinated. His choice, respect it. I'm not telling anyone what to do with that. I'd be annoyed too, G. Bush, if you were like, hey, I'm going to be part of Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, but I'm going to do every show remote. Because I don't want to, I think both smells and I'm not coming in because I got a sensitive nose. I'd be like, all right, you know what, man, G. Bush? I love you, but you drive me crazy. So it doesn't shock that the whole situation helped it crumble and crack like it did.
That got me up out of there that quick. We talk about I ain't going to talk about I ain't showing up. But look, they were like, look, well, you sick? What's going on? You good, bro? No, I'm just gonna be at the no, you're not gonna just be at the house. Here's the thing, and we'll get into this tomorrow. Make sure you guys, if you haven't, I don't know if any new people here, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This should be streaming live everywhere. I think you should be able to see this on Twitter. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're even on Twitch right now, right? I think we'll talk about this tomorrow a little bit, and it goes to the fact of the way the NBA is set up and the way that the NFL is set up is completely different. I mean, just the simple fact, think about this like this. Bradley Beal opted out of major money. It looked like Kyrie Irving for a small period of time opted out of major money, right? Just think about the level of money that we're talking about here. They talking about, Deshaun Watson got $230 million. What? 230? Like these guys are getting 46 a year. Russell Westbrook, 45 million a year. And they have a lot of control. But man, to what end? I mean, if you're the Brooklyn Nets and you've bent over backwards, you went all in and pushed your chips to the middle of the table, and in 6 months, you went to 0 to 100 real quick, like Drake. Crazy.
Yeah. I struggle to come up with the words for this, G. Bush, because KD seemed like he was invested. And the fact that, if Kyrie had left with all the stuff that Kyrie had kind of gone through with the Nets, it'd be like, all right, he never really seemed fully invested in the cause here. KD was invested. He just re-signed. Let me reemphasize this. Within the last month, he re-signed a 4-year contract extension with Brooklyn, cementing the fact that, hey, I want to build something here. Like, this is where I want to build. And within a month, he's out. He wants out.
Do you believe Kyrie was the catalyst of recruiting Kevin Durant? Because from what the tea leaves read, a lot of people around the league said that Kyrie was the individual that went with Kevin Durant and said, hey, look, let's team up. They talked about where they wanted to go. It was either they wanted to be in New York. So they said, okay, we're not going to deal with the Knicks. Let's go over here with the Nets. And I mean, they gave him a lot of power, man. Like, like they were so about they were naming themselves as like, hey, we don't need a coach. We could get anybody and just roll the ball out. And it's crazy because when you look at this situation, I go back and I say, look at all the stuff they gave up. I think this is going to be a new era, right? I think the ownership is going to say, look, this going to stop. I'm putting all this money out here and these guys is coming here and then they leave in like 2 years. Like, think about it. They was as tight can be. And all of a sudden, y'all don't like each other?
Not 2 years. Less than a month. He signed a contract extension last month. Listen,
crazy.
I'm a proponent of players getting paid. If you're a free agent, get the most money you can. I have no issue with the Browns giving Watson $230 guaranteed. Lamar Jackson, we talked about this. He's going to get his money guaranteed. It's going to change. These athletes should all get as much money as humanly possible. Because guess what? It ain't my money. It ain't your money. It's these rich billionaire owners' money. And if they're going to spend a little extra money, I don't care. Like, get your bread. Everyone should get. Listen, I want my bread. I want my money too. Like, yeah, every penny. So I have no issue with these guys moving around in free agency. My issue is when you make a commitment to a team for a prolonged period, the team builds its future around that time frame. The Nets believe they had 4 years to build a future around Kevin Durant when he signed that first contract.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to the last year of his deal here. They knew, hey, this is our window, and if not, you leave, we get something for you. But he re-signed. Now that window is extended 4 years. For a month later, him leave. Now, they haven't made any moves yet, so this is not the perfect comparison. But there has to be some sort of protection on the flip side for these teams, because even though I'm pro player in every one of these situations, and this is going to sound contradictory, I don't think it's not a fair balance. I don't know the exact analogy, but you see what I'm saying?
It ain't good. It ain't good for the game, so to speak.
Exactly. It's not fair to the Nets. It's not fair to the NBA.
And it's not fair to the people, the fans, right? Like you the way the NBA works, and this is why the NBA it's important to have people be there for a certain period of time so people can invest. The great thing about the NBA is everybody needs to believe that they got an opportunity. That's why they're doing the play-in games, right? They're doing those play-in games because they want more fan bases to be more involved in what they're doing. And Brad always talks about the community aspects of it, right? Brad Sellers on the NBA Player always talks about the community that you're in, right? They need to believe in that. And some of the stuff you're going through right now, you got to think about this. We came off 2016 as a Cavs organization. We just beat the Warriors. We just were able to beat a team coming back from 3-1. We had all those wars with Steph Curry and Draymond and all those guys. We win the championship. And in less than 2 years, the Cavs are talking about dismantling and whether or not LeBron was moving. You got to think about this. LeBron got an out card the second time. He was never supposed to be going nowhere else. Everybody act like it was an LA thing and LA was just going to be a foregone conclusion. No. What happened was LeBron James was with Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie said he had to roll out. When they told him he requested a trade and they gave him the trade, it was all she wrote. We sitting here in Cleveland like this. Are you serious? Like you just broke the squad up. Then you get pieces and parts back, and it ain't the same. LeBron obviously goes out to LA, wherever, wins a championship the next year. But you're with a bunch of people that is it Brooklyn like, this is corny. This is trash, bro. Yeah. It just don't feel right. It just don't, it feel like
I feel cheated.
It felt like go ahead.
This was supposed to be a championship contending team, and we had a championship window. I'm gonna go back to what you said a second ago and bring something up Brad said. Brad said it, I think it might be the best point he's made on UCSS. As soon as your championship window opens, it starts to close.
Yep.
It does not stay open for 5 years. As soon as it's open, it's starting to close, and that time frame gets shorter and shorter and shorter by the day.
And when Kyrie got hurt, he missed the whole first year, didn't
he? KD, yeah, missed the whole first year.
KD missed the whole first year, but then Kyrie missed the whole first year as well. Like, he got hurt, he shut it down.
Kyrie played, then shut it down, then came. Kyrie's only played like 87. Don't quote me on the number, but it's only like 90 games in 3 years with the Nets. Like, he's barely played over a full season.
We know how that is. He had a couple years like that here too.
He's unbelievable on the court. He's a wizard with the ball. He's a magician when he's actually playing basketball. The question is, how frequently does the man actually play basketball? And that we're learning on a year-by-year basis that if you expect Kyrie Irving to play 82 games a year, you will be disappointed more often than you are happy with the result. Hey, I'm looking up the numbers real quick. G-Bush, what do you think the most games Kyrie Irving's played in a season?
I want to say most games he's ever played is 62.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the game log right now. He played 71 games. He's played over 70 games 3 times in his career. But since leaving the Cavs, so that's 5 seasons, he's played in 60, 67, 20, 54, 29. So in 3 years with the Nets, he's played in fewer. I take that back. He's played in 105 games in 3 years with the Nets.
Lord.
105 in 3. It's 33 and virtually 33 and a half.
That is crazy.
Per game. 3 seasons at max money. 3 years, 33 and a half games.
And man, I don't want to do all my points but here's the thing.
Save it tomorrow. Yeah. Let's make one more point each, and then we'll wrap it up.
Right, we're right.
And we'll come back. We're gonna hit this tomorrow. We're gonna propose Kevin Durant trades tomorrow. So be ready for that.
So if you guys, we will be talking Cavs tomorrow. Make sure you guys get in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in and the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Make sure you subscribe to the Barbershop, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm just gonna preface this right now, and I'll give you the rest tomorrow.
Wait, hold on. Hey, G. Bush, I gotta read you a tweet.
All right.
From Woj, report KD and Kyrie Irving teaming up again is, quote, certainly a possibility. They want to continue to play together, but the sense is they don't want to do it in Brooklyn anymore.
No. Hey, look. Hey, that's foul. Listen, that is foul. That's foul, bro.
You think for 3,000?
You gonna make them use their assets, all of their resources, put up with that stuff for 2-3 years, and then now y'all gonna team up in another city. See, here's the thing. I don't want to sound like an old school guy, but this is where I'm gonna have to go with it. Y'all making it bad for everybody else, man. Like, let's be clear, man. We already had the Kawhi Leonard stuff, right? Kawhi just be like, Kawhi won a championship and still was out. You know, I'm going, my uncle gonna hold it down. He forced his way. Think about this. Think about how many of these dudes that really forced their way smooth out of something. And LeBron left twice. Kyrie left, right? But listen, this is worse than a decision. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is worse than a decision, because you got 2 guys that burned down an organization. And now we really seeing what it is. Kevin Durant he's never getting any. I don't want to hear him mentioning no top anything. Kyrie has already been demoted out of the top 25. He can't operate like this and think that he's going to be put over anybody. Steph Curry was carrying you, bro. Do you see what the Warriors did? You see that? I hate him or love him. Steph Curry stayed where he was supposed to be. He weathered the storm. Draymond Green was hurt for a whole year. Klay Thompson was hurt for 3 doggone years. And all Steph Curry did is get his money back and keep balling. It's looking bad, man.
Listen, bad, man. My last point, G, and I'll bring this up again tomorrow. When LeBron left in the decision, he was a free agent.
Right.
He had a choice to go anywhere. When these players request trades, 99 out of 100 times, it is because the team had not provided them with enough support and not given them the resources to do what they wanted to do, which is ultimately win an NBA championship. Let me go back to the timeline since Kyrie and KD signed in Brooklyn that same offseason. They traded Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and 3 first-round picks to Houston for James Harden. They signed Joe Harris to an $84 million deal for $16 million a year. They have spent over the luxury tax each of the 3 seasons that they have been in Brooklyn. Over the luxury tax. Now, their owner's a billionaire. I don't care about that, but I'm just saying they have acquired another superstar. They have traded said superstar because he wasn't happy. They brought in Ben Simmons. They have done everything humanly possible. Hey, they hired Steve Nash. Y'all realize they hired Steve Nash because KD said, hey, I want Steve Nash to be my coach, despite the fact he ain't never coached in the NBA. He never been an assistant coach in the NBA. The only reason he's been and I like Steve Nash as coach. I think he's actually a pretty good coach. It's not a knock on Nash, but he got hired because KD said, that's who I want to be my coach. Sean Marks and the Nets have gone above and beyond to make Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving happy. And to request, oh, buddy, I'm mad. The Cavs should make an offer for him, by the way. It won't be Mobley and Garland, but I think the other 29 teams in the league should all make an offer to the Nets. Every team should make an offer. And we're going to run through tomorrow on UCSS which teams can make the best offer for the Nets, which does include the team of the current city we're in, the Cavs. I know y'all hated my offer earlier, but I do think there is a real Sexton, Mobley, and a couple picks potential, or some combination of their young assets to at least
let's get them in the move. Hey, yeah, let's at least get them where we're going. We're gonna do that for you tomorrow. Make sure you watch. Listen, if you're not watching the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, y'all tripping. It's the hottest thing in the game right now. I really don't think that nobody really can do nothing with it. We got the best interviews. We got the best people in and out. If you want to talk about your favorites, your past, present, and future in terms of guests, we got all those together every single day, 11 to 1. You can watch little snippets. We on demand. We everywhere, man. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. If you want to get more of this conversation, Kevin Durant is on the move. Should the Cavs make the trade? You sleep on it. We'll get back to you. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Peace.